He took my speech. He just wanted to see if I could wing it, and I could.
No, it was probably better than mine.
Thank you, Chuck, for your tremendous leadership, for making this happen, and the pride that you take in darling Allison. I remember when she was born, her happiness in your family. And thank you for wearing the purple tie. Thank you for wearing the purple tie. Good afternoon, everyone. Mr. Leader, of course, Mr. President and Joe Biden, Vice President Harris, and First Gentleman Inhofe, thank you all for your leadership. But each and every one of you should pat yourself on the shoulder, because regardless of how much we have done internally maneuvering or taking the lead in our legislative capacities, and certainly the president, this would not have happened, as the leader indicated, without the advocacy, without the mobilization at the grassroots level. You all made this happen. I'll go more into that in a moment, but right now, it marks a glorious moment of triumph for love, of freedom, and dignity for all. Indeed, with the stroke of the president's pen, the fundamental right to marry the person you love is enshrined in the law of the land. To President Biden, we commend you for your leadership, Mr. President, making justice for LGBTQ communities a top priority of this administration. And thank you, Mr. President, for your courageous leadership in the protection of marriage, early to do so. Thank you, Mr. President. Let us also salute my colleagues in the House of Representatives. I see Jerry Nadler there, Mr. Cicilline, so many others who were so much a part of this legislation in the House. And of course, I join Leader Schumer in commending his Senate colleagues as well. With courage, fortitude, and unbreakable unity, we have achieved a landmark victory in the fight for full equality. When we passed the Respect for Marriage Act in the House last week, which was the follow-up to our original passing it, I was overwhelmed with emotion when bringing down the gavel on this legislation. And for many of us who have long fought for the LGBTQ rights, we're jumping for joy. Were you jumping for joy? Because for millions of Americans, the impacts of this law are necessary and absolutely fundamental. It enshrines equality, ensuring same-sex and interracial couples can access all legal protections and financial benefits that marriage affords. It fortifies families from being upended and uprooted with a peace of mind that their marriage is federally protected. And it defends dignity, because everyone deserves to bask in the magical blessing of building a union with the person you love. This is the latest leap forward in our fight for full equality, which we have waged alongside generations of fearless activists. We transformed the fight against HIV/AIDS with game-changing funding here at home and around the world. That would not have happened without your advocacy. We took the scourge of bigoted violence with the Matthew Shepard and James Byrd Hate Crimes Fully Inclusive Hate Crimes Prevention Act. We tossed Don't Ask, Don't Tell into the dustbin of history, honoring the patriotism of our heroes in uniform, including the transgender community in the military. In fact, in the repeal of Don't Ask, Tell, I'm taking a personal story. This is not as personal as the leaders, but I feel very emotional about this. When I was ending my term as Speaker the first time, one of the last bills I signed as Speaker was December 2010, the repeal of Don't Ask, Don't Tell. And now it is so fitting, and one of my final acts as speakership was to sign the Respect for Marriage Act that the President will sign today. But our work isn't done. Our work isn't done and won't rest until the Equality Act, which is Cicilline's legislation, is passed into law. This fight is an essential thread in the fabric of our nation's history. because at its core, America has always been about expanding freedom, not restricting it, not restricting it. To that end, I want again to salute all of you who have gathered here with us and so many more across the country who helped achieve this victory. Know your power. Take satisfaction. None of this would have happened without your mobilization, your advocacy, which not only expanded freedom for LGBTQ community, but for all Americans. Thank you for your patriotism to each and every one of you. Give yourself a pat on the back. Our outside maneuvering not only takes us so far. Inside maneuvering only takes us so far. It was your outside, your patience, your persistence. Well, you weren't always so patient. Your impatience, your persistence, and your patriotism got the job done. Thank you for the personal difference you have made in this fight. After the Obergefell decision was announced, Jim Obergefell declared to an ecstatic crowd outside the Supreme Court, he said this: "Today's ruling from the Supreme Court affirms what millions across this country already know to be true in our hearts. Our love is equal." It is a thrill that, protected by this landmark new law, millions more devoted partners will be able to shed a tear of joy as they make their wedding vows, celebrate the union with ones that they love, and live happily and safely ever after with the person they love. People say to me, "Oh, this is easy for you because you're from San Francisco," and that's an applause line. It's easy for you because you're from San Francisco and people are so tolerant there. And I said, tolerance has nothing to do with it. That is a condescending word to us when it comes to our community in San Francisco. This is about respect. This is about taking pride, And it's about time that we do so at the federal level. So congratulations to all of you who played a role in this. Congratulations to all the weddings that will take place, as the leader said, the children who will be protected on this euphoric triumph. And may God continue to bless the United States of America as we continue to expand freedom. This is a day for great pride, thanks to all of you. Thanks to all of you. Thank you.